Hello everyone, it is Simone here, and I wanted to do the day 13 to 18 Inkvent calendar overview that has a bit of more focus on the inked up fountain pens as well as the inks. So day 13, if I have to double check here, so day 13 was our Weeping Willow. And if we're looking at our Weeping Willow here, it is an interesting ink. It is like a brown with some green, like it has like, it seems quite complex and it has a lot of sort of like different facets to it. If we're looking at it here in the ink splatter, you can even see there's actually even some like purples coming through. So it does seem like a fairly complex ink. And I had inked up this one in my glow-in-the-dark Twispy Eco in green. And I have to say, even though it writes well and everything, it's not one that I had been reaching for at all. I totally even forgot about this ink. And I don't know if it's, it just doesn't stand out to me as like, wow, this is one that I want to write with. So yeah, I'm curious if anyone actually found like that this is one that they are really gravitating towards, because it's definitely not mine. It is an interesting ink. It has a lot of different depth to it, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah, not my favorite, or at least not the one that I had been reaching for. So this is a broad nib. I do really like this Twispy Eco. I like my Twispies, and I think you have heard me say this now a few times. I really do like my Twispies. It flows really well in here. It works really well. But it's just nothing where I'm going like, yes, I want to write with this pen. So I have totally ignored that I have this pen. And so, yeah, that is our day 13. So this, by the way, is a Hobonichi notebook. But you can see it is really kind of cool. It has like some interesting like shadings and stuff coming through. But it's just, I don't think it's the pen. Yeah, just not. But maybe it's one that I have to kind of play with, and it might also really very much depend on what kind of colors I need. But that was our day 13. Then we have our day 14, and that is this Rainbow's End. And Rainbow's End has shimmer in it. You can see it here. It has like quite nice, definitely purple. And I think it might even have like, it's kind of like a golden coppery shimmer. Wow. No, there we go. So yeah, but it's it is a little bit too purple for me. Not sure what that, I don't know, like there's something, it's interesting, but it's another one that I had not been sort of gravitating towards. This one, I had inked up, let's put it this way so that we can have the one in focus here. So this one I had inked up in my Opus 88 Jazz in the light solid blue. I love it. It's such a stylish pen. I really, really like this pen. It is a eyedropper pen, which I also really like. And the ink has worked really beautifully in here. It has a medium nib. You can actually hear just a tiny, no, actually it's fine. There's just, depending on the angle, there's a tiny little bit of scratching. But you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it flows really, really nicely. Like it is very juicy, but not like too much. I really like this. I think this nib might not be my favorite. I might have to have a closer look at this nib. There's just a little tiny bit of scratchiness, and it seems quite sensitive to how I hold it. And recently I have been really drawn to my broader nibs. Oh, I already have medium. But this ink, because it flows so nicely, I think in a broad nib would almost be too much. But so this is an Opus 88 Jazz in the light solid blue. And I really like this pen. It's a really nice size. So you can see compared to the Eco, it's definitely a little, oh, this is not gonna, there we go. Compared to the Eco, it's definitely a little bit longer. And it's thicker. I like the width. So the section that to hold on to is nice and smooth, and it's a little bit bigger, and I really like the way this pen lies in my hand. But it's again not a color that I had found myself reaching toward. So that is day 14, Rainbow's End. Then we have day 15, Walnut. And I have to say, so far, and I haven't even labeled this yet, this has definitely been my least, probably my least favorite. Again, there's like, this is the thing, there's everything, how does this work? It's good that we don't all have the same taste, because that would be such a boring world if we all had the same taste. But this is just like, there is some sheen in it, and I'm not a big fan of sheening inks, and it's just brown, and it's not, I don't know, there's just nothing that has been screaming at me of like, oh, this isn't a wonderful ink. And I think I had even forgotten, yeah, even here, you can see it definitely has some green sheen. And I had not even actually labeled this one. So this was Diamine Walnut. And then the pen that this is inked in, this is a pen that I don't see very often on YouTube, but maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. But this is actually a Twisby. And I had to look it up, what it's actually officially called. It's a Twisby Precision Gunmetal fountain pen. And the walnut in here works fairly well. So it's a piston filler, same to like all the Twisbys. It is a medium nib. It flows quite nicely out of this pen, so there is no complaints with that. It works really well in this pen. It's just not my favorite. Twisby, see now I already forgot. Precision, gunmetal. Well, I can't remember. What did I just say? Gunmetal, yeah, gunmetal, and it's a medium nib. I can't decide exactly how I feel about this pen. I like the metal feeling on my hand when I write. I like that it's a very different kind of aesthetic, but I never pick it up. Like, I don't gravitate to it. So I'm not entirely sure. It's maybe it doesn't help that this time I also put like a ink in it that is not my favorite. So maybe I should ink it up with like my favorite ink at some point and then see how it behaves. It has a nice weight to it, so that is actually kind of cool. And I like the little sides, and it's a really good pen to kind of fidget and play with. I like that very much about it, but it's just, yeah, I have it very rarely filled up. Okay, so that is our day 15 Walnut. Then we get to day 16, Merry and Bright, and that one has absolutely made me happy. So the Merry and Bright day 16 is definitely one that I have been picking up. I have journaled with it quite a bit, and it's wonderful. I love it. It's so bright, and it has the shimmer, and it's fun, and it's great. I love it. I really love it, love it, love it. It's amazing. It works well, it flows well, it hasn't clogged anything. So far I have been a really big fan of this, and I have it inked up in my Twisby Eco transparent green, and I mean, it fits just so nicely. I mean, it's such a good combination. It looks so fun. in here. So this has been really definitely one of my favorites so far in the Inkvent calendar this year. I just love this bright green. It just makes me happy. It brings in like something fun. It works really well in this pen. It flows really well. Don't know if you can see that, but it's so juicy and it flows well, and it's like, it's just wonderful. And I'm pretty certain, I mean, at least it feels like a broad. This must be a broad, which is probably also helpful why I like it, because again, right now I'm definitely on the broad nib train. Sometimes that changes, but right now broad nibs it is for me all day long. But this winner, absolutely. Have been reaching for it all the time. So this one has been a lot of fun. Okay, day 17 is the Lavender Frost. And this one, I have to say, I actually quite liked it when I came out here, and I thought it was kind of interesting. You can see the shimmer. It is quite shimmery and it's quite nice. And then I put it in this pen, and I haven't been very happy with it. So this pen is a Nettuno. It's an Italian company. It is a TrueFay exclusive. So I think I had said that before. I had signed up for their subscription box, and that was a pen that was in there. This is not a pen that I would usually have picked up. And I actually, it has like a really nice matte kind of like finish, and it feels cool in my hands. It feels really nice in my hands. And I have to look it up. So it's called the Nettuno 1911 Black Sands Silver. And again, I need to look in my notes, or I need to have better notes. But somehow, like this ink, and you can even see it, it's not flowing in this pen. And it's like, it's also quite dark now, which I think it was just sitting in this pen, but I feel like I haven't actually like let it sit for that long. But it just has not made me happy. I feel like I'm fighting with it. It's dry to come out, and that might just be the pen more than the ink, to be honest. I really don't know. That is also a broad nib. It has a very, very pretty nib with even some really nice kind of like engravings on it and so on. It's a cartridge converter in here. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it does say TrueFay limited edition. It's the pen 206 out of 250. But yeah, just maybe in combination. But then I also remember that I always kind of like inking it up, and then maybe just not very happy with it. But this is definitely, yeah, I will unink this. It has not made me happy. It's, I don't know, you can see like the way it came out right now is much darker. Yeah, so just, I need to really try this ink in a different pen. I guess that is what I'm trying to say. And then we have our day 18, which is the Blizzard. And I haven't really journaled with this yet. But at a first glance, I love this ink. This is such a pretty ink. It has shimmer again. It is like a blue-green. Actually, now when I look at this, it's probably more blue. I can't decide, but this is absolutely lovely. And let me show you the thingy here first. So this is the card. Look at that shimmer. It's so nice. And I inked this up with another Opus 88. You can see, I love my Opus 88s. So this is an Opus 88, and it is, that's another one I have to kind of look at. I know it. It's the Opus 88 Minty in light blue. It's another eyedropper, as the Opus 88s tend to be. It has a Opus 88 nib, and it is just lovely. Like, I love it. It's just fits really nice in my hands. It does always, I think the Opus 88s, that's the one thing I need to say. They feel a little plasticky. I don't know if that makes sense, but they feel like, I love how they work. I love how they feel. I love how they write. But there is something, I don't want to offend anyone, but somehow they feel a little bit cheaper than the price would kind of imply. Don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, or if anyone else has ever thought it. I mean, they're nice and solid. I haven't had any problems with them. I do reach for them all the time. But there's just something that I sometimes think feels a little cheaper about them than the price would. As in, like, they're a little bit more expensive than they feel. If that makes any sense to anyone. But look at this combination. This is definitely going to be one that I will keep inked up. This is just so lovely. Works really well in this pen. We can close it up. And yeah, so you can see, for looking at all of those. So we have our day 13, the Weeping Willow, the day 14, Rainbow's End, day 15, Walnut, day 16, Merry and Bright, which I love, the day 17, Lavender Frost, which I think might not like really reflect how it would look like after longer writing. And then we have our Blizzard. So on here we have definitely so shimmer, 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 shimmer. And definitely my two favorites by far are the Merry and Bright and the Blizzard. So that is the overview of our day 13 to 18. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.